got something to show me.
The developing organism is using his life energy, digesting bone and tissue.
In 1993, series creator Chris Carter introduced the world to David Duchovny's Fox Mulder and Gillian Anderson's Dana Scully, members of a clandestine branch of the FBI that investigated the X-Files, cases with a spooky and paranormal bent.
There was always this idea that what we're doing is already big screen worthy.
I thought, this is the kind of show that we can flush out. I wanted to exploit the visual tapestry that I thought that Chris and I were capable of.
Driven by Mulder's paranoid insomniac obsession with unearthing the truth about the alien abduction of his sister Samantha, the poster he purchases from a head shop on M Street in Washington, D.C. that reads, "I want to believe," became the mantra of the show.
They call me Spooky. Spooky Mulder, whose sister was abducted by aliens when he was just a kid and who now chases after little green men with a badge and a gun.
As the series progressed, his FBI partner, medical officer, rationalist, and soulmate Scully, initially assigned to debunk his findings, becomes his perfect counterweight, keeping him from losing his mind by encouraging Mulder to use a clinical approach to finding the truth. Wading through the murky waters under the supervision of director Skinner, the two complementary and opposing characters with amazing chemistry discover a strange and mysterious world in the shadows, one featuring shapeshifters, soul eaters, monsters, governmental malice, and of course, aliens.
He understands the show, he understands the characters, and he's really good with the big toys. So now we get, a guy that knows the characters and knows the story, so he's kind of the perfect director for it.
Through his obsession and her pragmatism, they begin to unearth a grand conspiracy that points to world governments collaborating with aliens in a hybrid program that would see mankind eradicated. The show was a massive hit, so it made sense that between the 4th and 5th seasons, the writing staff, producers, and cast would return for a feature that pieced together all the major narrative threads.
It's two FBI agents coming from different biases who stumble on a government conspiracy who, through the uncovering of it, come very close together and become very passionate about their need to find the truth.
Opening in the icy tundra of North Texas in 35,000 BC, two cavemen stumble into a lair of a grey alien that kills one of them and infects the other with the purity virus.
The virus is extraterrestrial. We know very little about it except that it was the original inhabitant of this planet.
Bioengineered by the grey aliens, the contagion is a combination of a parasitic virus mixed with an aggressive form of their DNA. Possessing a form of sapience, it was able to choose its host at will, shared a symbiotic bond with the alien colonizers, and transformed hosts into greys. The aliens arrived on Earth millions of years prior to our evolution, and while most had left, some chose to remain dormant in the form of the evolved pathogen. Mulder and Scully uncover that they've been aided by the Syndicate, a group of elites that discovered the Greys planned on colonizing Earth in a process that would wipe out our species. The Syndicate had essentially sold out our race to ensure that their bloodlines would be allowed to live on as alien-human hybrids. Fast forward to the present day, where a child falls into the same cave and is infected by purity, as are the people that go down to help him.
Hey, Steve!
You okay?
It's not long before a mysterious group pulls up in the scene in tankers, big rigs, and hazmat suits, led by the cigarette smoking man, a key member of the Syndicate, who we've covered in the past in a video I'll be leaving links to below.
It's Braunschweig. Sir, the impossible scenario that we never planned for? Well, we better come up with a plan.
Sometime after this, Mulder and Scully investigate a bomb threat at the federal building in Dallas.
If we fail to expect the unexpected in a universe of infinite possibilities, we may find ourselves at the mercy of anyone or anything that cannot be programmed, categorized, or easily referenced.
And while the bomb is found, Special Agent Michaud strangely does nothing to defuse it, resulting in the destruction of the building. While they had saved hundreds of lives, the pair return to Washington and are chastised for the deaths of 4 victims supposedly found on the site, 3 firemen and 1 little boy.
I'd like to begin this interview.
Excuse me, the fireman and the young boy, they were found in the building? We had been told the building was clear.
You'll get your turn, Agent Mulder. Please step outside.
Meeting up with Alvin Kurtzwill, a fellow conspiracy theorist, Mulder discovers that the bomb was a cover-up to hide the infected bodies from the Dallas dig site.
There's something you don't know about the bombing in Dallas. The Federal Emergency Management Agency had a provisional medical quarantine office there. Those people were already dead.
For some context, the end of Season 5 would see Scully and Mulder beset by external forces within the Justice Department that wanted to close the X-Files, and concludes with the smoking man taking Samantha's X-File and setting the office ablaze. So this was just another attempt at sabotage, but one that ends up backfiring, with the pair, mainly the obsessed Mulder, relentlessly continuing to pursue the truth.
This is one of the firemen who died in Dallas, and you're looking for...
Cause of death.
Concussive organ failure due to proximal exposure to source and flying debris.
The pair then head to a morgue and learn that the bodies suffered a complete cellular breakdown and were infected by an alien pathogen. Following the trail to the Dallas site, they find it covered by a hastily placed playground, but follow a team of tanker trucks to a massive cornfield surrounding two massive domes.
This is weird, Mulder.
Very weird.
Any thoughts as to why anybody would be growing corn in the middle of the desert?
Those could be giant Jiffy Pop poppers.
Infiltrating the facility, they're met by a swarm of bees and helicopters that force them to make a harrowing escape. What they don't initially realize is that the bees were cross-engineered with purity to infect many people as quickly as possible.
You found something? Yeah, some kind of experiment. Something they excavated was brought there in tanker trucks. What? I'm not sure. A virus, I think.
Unfortunately, Scully is informed that she's being transferred to another department at a performance hearing. Worse still, after being stung by one of the bees from earlier and suffering a reaction, Mulder is shot and she's taken away to an undisclosed location. Mulder wakes up in a hospital to learn that the bullet had grazed him, and with the help of the lone gunman and the well-manicured man, members of the syndicate of which his father was a part of, he gets his hands on the cure and is informed of Scully's location.
What is it? A weak vaccine against the virus Agent Scully has been infected with. It must be administered within 96 hours.
That is before the well-manicured man kills his driver and himself, protecting his family by keeping his betrayal under wraps. Traveling to Antarctica, Mulder finds a massive facility run by the Syndicate and injects Scully with the cure, triggering the awakening of many rabid alien hybrids nearby.
Whoa! Come on, Scully! Whoa!
Luckily, the duo escape as the facility lifts up and flies away, revealing itself to be a UFO, not that the unconscious Scully sees any of it. While their testimony is unsurprisingly ignored at a hearing and the evidence covered up, the Syndicate receive a telegram informing them that the X-Files have been reopened, paving the way for the start of Season 6.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
From the opening shot, the grandeur scale is the first thing that grabbed me. The script is tight and focused, never meandering from the main message of the show, the characterizations of our heroes, or the forces that beset them with inequity on all sides. Mulder is still driven by the same intuition and instinct, filtered through Scully's voice of reason, and the film does an amazing job of showing just how much they mean to each other.
I owe you everything, Scully, and you owe me nothing. I don't know if I want to do this alone. I don't even know if I can.
The stakes are higher than ever, the Syndicate are in full swing, and despite the immense task of condensing the essence and plot of the show while expanding on it, the film is well balanced and paced. Although steeped in darkness, distrust and anxiety, aided by the terrific lighting and production design that keep the ominous tone going, the movie also has some surprisingly funny, in-character moments. Sweeping across a great expanse of time, many landscapes and locations, and multiple key characters, the looming existential threat is epic, but the story is never confusing or self-indulgent. The narrative is the culmination of multiple storylines and seasons of television, and thanks to Carter and Berman's touch and a focus on Mulder and Scully's relationship, the fantastical concepts feel grounded. While no means a perfect film, the X-Files movie is a thrilling ride that honors the series with a climactic payoff of truth and a renewed sense of hope that keeps me wanting to believe.